Hello guys, good day everyone. This is the Creators Lodge and you are welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time coming across my YouTube channel, please do well to like this video, subscribe to the channel and also turn on the notification button so when next I drop a tutorial video, you will be notified by YouTube. Alright, so in today's tutorial, I'm going to be showing you guys how to create a beautiful professional flyer design such as this. Alright, it's very simple, easy. You just need to focus on what you're doing. Alright, and I'm going to be showing you guys how I achieved this flyer design. So please stay tuned and stay to the end. Alright, and I'm going to be sharing with you guys in the process of this tutorial how I achieve sharpness on my images and how I make my images to have this bright feel. All right, how I make my images to have that excellent feel. All right, so just stay tuned to the end of this tutorial. All right, let's get into business. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just size my work, and my usual size is 3000 and the height is 3500. All right, so the next thing I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be bringing in the original design. Okay, all right, so this is the original design. I'm just going to mark this. All right, now most of my designs I usually enhance the images. All right, and most of my designs, there is a way I make my design to, I make it to pop, I make it to look very sharp, and there's a way I make my design to look bright. All right, so these techniques are part of my paid course. All right, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make your design look very sharp, how to make your design pop, and I'm going to show you guys how to edit images. All right, so if you're a photographer, if you are a makeup artist, or if you just want to do it for your business, you want to be using this method for your flyers. All right, I'm going to be showing you guys how to edit your images. I'm going to be showing you guys how to make your flyer design look very excellent. So it's going to be in my paid course, and I'm currently running a discount, so I'll release the link for this course in my next tutorial, so stay tuned for my next tutorial. All right, so I'm going to mark this and I'm going to just increase the size this way using my relative position, and I'm just going to mark this and lock the layer. All right, now the next thing we want to do, this is the original image. The next thing we want to do is to color our background. I'm going to click on color. Now the color I used for my background is a gradient color, and this is the gradient color I used for my background. All right, now how did I get this gradient color? Now let me give you one tip. When you want to do your design, remember, I usually say that before starting out on your design, always go on Pinterest to get a good inspiration. So if you want to design a church flyer, go on Pinterest and search for professional church flyers. All right, Pinterest will give you a vast, range of designs pertaining to church. All right, now download the professional designs. All right, that is what you use to model your own design, so that when you create your own design will also look professional as that which you have downloaded. All right, now I get my colors from, sometimes, not every time actually, sometimes I get the colors of my designs from professional designs that I was able to get out there, or that I get out there. All right, so now all I just need to do is to pick the color from those designs using my eyedrop tool or the color picker tool in my Pixellab application. So once I pick the color on those designs, I use that to formulate my own design. All right, now the next, what I want to show you is, I've showed you the gradient color I used. How did I get this color? So you just pick the color from here. Once you click on this color, click on gradient, you click on add. So let's assume that you have seen a flyer design, you've gotten your inspiration from Pinterest and you want to pick your colors from that flyer. So once you click on your gradient, you click on the add icon. Now you click on this bucket tool at the bottom, this last tool, click on it. Now once you click on it, you are going to see this color picker tool or this eyedrop tool. Click on it. All right, now once you click on it, click on the design that you got from Pinterest or your inspiration. So you click on the first color you want, or the first color. It's usually two colors, and if it's more than two, you can make your gradients be more than two also. So you click on the first color and you mark this and you click OK. Now it's going to reflect in the first color wheel or the color panel now. So you click on this second one, also click on this same bucket tool, click on the color picker tool, click on the image, and then you click on the second color and you mark this. All right, so it's going to automatically reflect on your design, and when you are done with that, you click OK. All right, so I'm just going to pick this gradient color that we used. So that's how you get colors from designs. All right, so I'm just going to make this layer invisible. Now the next thing I want to do is I'm just going to write in my text, which is makeup masterclass. So I'm going to click on my font, I'm going to click on text, and I'm going to write makeup. Yeah, okay, so this is makeup. Now the font I used for this text is against regular. If you have been watching my previous tutorials, you should have this font. All right, so I'm going to click on the font, and I'm going to click on my font, and I'm going to click on against regular. All right, I'm going to be dropping the link to download the resource materials that I've used for this design, but please know that the images that I'm going to be giving you for these designs, those aren't the original images. All right, I've done editing on those images. All right, and that's one benefit if you get my course on photo editing and flyer editing. All right, so I'm just going to place this here. All right, now always remember, it's not going to be exactly the same with the original design, but it's going to look at 99% or 98% like the original design. So I'm just going to place makeup font here. I'm just going to lock this layer. I'm going to make this invisible. Now before you go on, for the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to be making use of the grid, which is the margin. All right, because I don't want my works to go out of the margin. So I'm going to click my margin. Now this is the default of your margin. All right, so but I want to make my margin to just be 2 horizontal and 2 vertical. So I'm going to click on this. You're going to see this margin with this. Let me go back. You're going to see this margin with this setting icon. I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to click on the last icon here, which is this return. I'm going to click on it. I'm going to change this to 2, and I'm going to change this to 2, and I'm going to click OK. So now you have 2 horizontal lines and 2 vertical lines. I'm just going to draw one of this line this way. All right, and I'm going to draw it this way. Ensure that while you are creating your box, which is your margin, ensure that the space on the left hand side is the same with that on the right, and it's the same with that at the bottom and at the top. Okay, so I'm just going to draw my margin this way, and I've gotten my margin. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click out and then click in again. You click out your margin icon at the top, and then you click it again. All right, so we're going to be working with this margin. Now I'm going to make my layer visible, and I'm going to write masterclass. So I'm going to just copy this font here. All right, I'm going to copy this font here, and I'm just going to write masterclass. Now for this font, I made use of as usual, I made use of Montserrat. Now someone would want to ask me that, why are you always using Montserrat in making your designs? Usually, why is Montserrat a a dominant font in your design when you make your flyer design? That is because Montserrat is, most people don't know how to use other fonts for design. So I usually advise designers that when you want to create your design, make sure you stay on Montserrat, because when you use Montserrat fonts on your design, you will never go wrong. All right, you will actually go wrong when you use different fonts that you don't know how to use them and when to use them. But when you use Montserrat font for your design, it always keep you in check. You would hardly go wrong when you use Montserrat font. All right, so the font I'm using here is Montserrat medium. Okay, and I'm just going to create a line spacing. I'm just going to create a line spacing something like this, and I'm just going to bring this here this way. I'm going to check my original and see. All right, just to keep us to guide. Okay, so I'm just going to place it here. I'm going to increase the line spacing. Yeah, okay, this way. Yeah, so let me check what we've done so far. All right, so I'm just going to increase the line spacing again. Yeah, let me check this. Okay, the line spacing is too much. I will have to reduce that now. Okay, the masterclass, I didn't add space. It's supposed to be a space here. Yeah, so I'm just going to correct that now. I'm just going to bring this here now, and I'm going to reduce the line spacing. Okay, so I'm just going to reduce the line spacing. Yeah, exactly. So the line spacing is 23. All right, so you can make yours 23. Okay, So let me try and work on this makeup font again. Let me see if I can make it align exactly with the original. All right, yeah, that's great. Okay, so I'm going to make this layer invisible. So now we have this. All right, so we have this. Now the next thing I want to do is I'm going to be imputing this text. I want us to be done with the text and before we go into the images. All right, so I'm going to be imputing this text, but before I start imputing this text, when you look at this original design, you are going to see some lines in the background, you know, some lines cutting across the background. All right, so that's what we're going to be creating now. The essence of these lines is just to make just to give your design additional beauty. All right, just to give your design additional beauty and to make it look weighty. All right, so I'm just going to make this invisible and I'm going to be creating the line. How do you create the line? Click on your shape, click on shapes. All right, click on gradient and let your gradients be this gradient. All right, let me show you the gradients. I'm click on this addition. The top of the gradient should be pure white color and the bottom should be a gradient. All right, the bottom should be a gradient. All right, something like this. Okay, either you can bring it this way, just ensure it's a gradient. So I'm going to click OK and I'm going to click OK and I'm going to mark this. So once you are done, I'm going to reduce from this side. I always say you shouldn't reduce your images or your shapes from this side, but the reason why we are reducing from this side is because we want to create a manipulation. All right, this is a manipulation. It's not like we want to use this shape for anything. All right, so I'm just going to reduce this size this way and I'm going to rotate this way and then I'm going to draw again. Okay, I'm going to draw from the top this way. All right, I'm going to draw from the top. Yes, so now the next thing I want to do is I'm going to reduce my opacity. I'm going to reduce my opacity to about let's look at 8. All right, I'm going to reduce my opacity to about 8. Yes, so I'm going to reduce it to 8. I'm going to draw this again, let it cut across. All right, so I'm just going to make my original visible and see how I placed it. All right, so I'm going to just bring it this way. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to place it this way. Okay, I'm still going to, yeah, I'm just going to place the first one this way and now I'll copy it again. All right, I'll copy this rectangle shape again and place it here again, which is the second one. All right, so I'll copy again and I will rotate this way. All right, I will rotate this way because we have some at the bottom region. All right, I will rotate this way and I'm going to place it here and then I'll copy again and then I'll place the last one at the bottom towards this place and then I'll copy again. All right, and I will rotate this way again. Okay, just follow what I'm doing. I'll rotate this way and I'm going to place it. Okay, I'm still going to rotate. Yeah, I'm still going to rotate. All right, I'm still going to rotate and I'll be giving you the original. All right, I'll be giving you this image as the original so that you can always work with it the same way I'm working with it right now. All right, so that you can work with it. Okay, let me just place it this way. Doesn't have to be perfect. All right, I'm just going to place it this way. So I have 2 here. So now I'm going to make, okay, we are not done. I'm going to copy again. At the top we have some at the top. All right, so I'm just going to copy again. I'm going to place okay, I'm going to rotate it this way, the other way around. Yeah, I'm going to rotate it this way. I'm going to place one here. I'm going to copy again and I'm going to place the other one here. Okay, so let me make my original invisible so that we can see what we've done. Now you can see the beauty. Now the only thing is that this bottom one here, I'm going to reduce the opacity of this bottom one to 5. All right, I'm going to reduce it to 5. You know, we have 2 at the bottom. All right, so I'm going to reduce the both of them to 5. Yeah, 5. So I'm also going to reduce this other one to 5. Yeah, so I'm going to reduce this also again to 5. So the only you know, the lines you are reducing are the bottom ones. The other ones just leave it on 8. You know, the opacity on 8. Now you can see, before even going far in this design, you can see that there's this beauty coming out because of this line. All right, if you know how to use this line, you can create something amazing with your design. All right, so I'm going to lock these layers, all right, so that they don't move around. Now I want to give you another tip. All right, now when you are creating your design, as you are creating, don't merge your layers immediately, because when you want to make corrections, all right, for instance, all these lines that I've drawn, I can decide that I want to merge all this line from these, I want to merge everything together, and then I click merge, and then do you want to merge, and I say okay. And I can decide to merge it, but the reason why I don't merge my designs immediately unless necessary is because probably you made a mistake and you want to correct the mistakes. Now if you have merged, and if you have done like maybe 5 to 6 processes after you have merged your design, Pixellab won't allow you to to undo, to go back and correct your mistakes. So it will mean that you will either delete that element that you've merged, or you start over again, and that's stress. All right, so I always advise, don't merge your work, just continue designing. All right, now after doing this, I'm going to just bring up the makeup text. I want to bring it to the top, take it to front, click to front. I'm going to bring the masterclass text also to front so that it can be on top of the line. So now I'm going to bring my original image also to front. I'm going to make it visible so we can see the next thing. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to create this shape that has this outline stuffs like that. So that's what I'm going to be working on now. I'm just going to click on shapes again. I'm going to click on radius. After clicking on shape, click on radius. All right, let your radius be about 18 or maybe 18 or 22. All right, but let it not be too much. Okay, so I'm just going to mark this. Remember we drew a line, so I'm going to click that again, and I'm just going to bring this shape here. Let me look at the original to see the positioning. All right, so I'm just going to bring the shape here this way. I'm going to reduce this way. Remember, these shapes, we are not using it for anything, so I can manipulate by drawing from this side or from the bottom. All right, but if you are actually using it for a major project, probably you want to add image, a texture or stuff like that, you are not permitted to draw these images or to increase the sizes from the side. All right, so yeah, so I'm just going to reduce the radius a little. Let me reduce the radius. I think the radius is too much, so let me use 18. I'm going to mark this. All right, now immediately I mark this, you can see that my white shape is no longer in my workspace. All right, so I can click back, and if it doesn't come, if you click back and it doesn't come, all right, what you just do is you just create another one. But in my own design, the white shape is still here, but it has gone to the bottom of my work. All right, so just click to front. Now when you are editing, or maybe on a text, or maybe you are trying to edit, and then all of a sudden you discover that the text, you can't find it again, or maybe the shape, you just discover you can't find it again. Now the best thing to do is to go to your layer panel, click on your layer panel, look for the layer of that text. When you find the layer of that text, go to your relative position, click on it, and click on center. All right, now once you click on center, it's possible that while you were editing that shape, the shape went out of your workspace to this region, or it went somewhere here. So but when you click on the layer of that thing you are editing, and you click on relative position, and you click on this center icon, what it will do is that it's going to bring that thing, all right, the text or the shape, wherever it is, it's going to bring it to the center of your design. And if after clicking relative position you still can't find it, then it will mean again that it has gone to back, meaning that it has gone behind of everything on your design. So you click to front to bring it forward. But after doing these two, if you see that you still can't find it, then the last meaning will be that it has deleted, so you have to create another one. All right, so that's just an additional tip. All right, so I'll just place this here this way, and I'm going to reduce the size this way. All right, I'm going to reduce the size this way. So I'm just going to make this layer invisible, and so that I can see what I'm doing. All right, so now the next thing I want to do, let me just move this way. Remember, everything you are doing is to align with your line. All right, so now in our original image, you can see that the shape is not too thick, is light. So that's what I want to achieve now. So after clicking on this shape, go to your opacity and reduce the opacity. All right, once you reduce the opacity to something like this, you can see my opacity is 14. Let me increase it a little bit. No, let me leave it at 12. All right, so you just need to keep on working until you get the perfect opacity for your design. All right, so you just need to keep on working until you get the perfect opacity for your design. Now don't forget, when you are creating your design, click on the save, click on save as project. All right, so I'm going to save as project and save as makeup. Okay, so remember, when you are done with your design, still save again as project. All right, so the next thing we want to do is I'm going to be writing this text, basics of makeover, and stuff like that. So but I've copied this text, I'm just going to be imputing it. All right. Okay, so I'm just going to be inputting this text. I'll click on my text, click on edit, and I'm going to paste this, and I'm going to click OK. Now, once you click OK, always remember to change your font. I'm going to choose my Montserrat font. I'm going to choose Montserrat Medium, and I'm going to click OK. I'm going to reduce. Let me use the original to, see my reduction. All right. So I'm going to reduce. Yeah, I'm going to reduce. Now, if you look at the original, if you look at the text we wrote now, the space in between is not much. But if you look at the original, you're going to see that there's much spacing. That's because I made use of line spacing. So you go to spacing and you click, but this time around, you're not clicking letters. All right. Okay, you're not going to this spacing. This is not the spacing you go to. You go to line spacing, click on line spacing, and then increase your line spacing. The more you increase, the more there's spaces in between each writings. All right, so I'm just going to place it here to see the degree of my line spacing. All right, so I'm just going to reduce it this way. Yeah, okay, let me reduce the size again. I just want it to be kind of a bit aligned to our original design. All right, so that's what I'm trying to achieve. Okay, so but let me just, like I said, it wouldn't be okay. So we have the perfect. So my line spacing is 8 and my text size is 20, so you can use that for yours. All right, so I'm going to make this invisible, and I'm just going to place this here, and I'm going to move this, I'm going to move it towards this side so that our dots can can find expression in this side. All right, so I'm just going to copy the same text, click on edit, I'm going to click on full stop. All right, and I'm going to click OK. Now I'm going to increase the size of my full stop. You don't need to change the font. All right, I'm just going to increase the size. Now you're just going to be using your positioning to be bringing it down, for each yeah, so you're going to be bringing it down, so just make sure it's aligned. Now don't let your full stop to be too close. I've said this in my previous tutorial, and I'm saying it again. Don't let your full stop to be too close to the text. All right, give the space, let the text breathe. All right, so I'm going to move again. I'm going to copy, I'm going to move down again. I'm just going to move this way. Now as you are making your while you are drawing your, or while you are creating the full stop shape, ensure that it's aligned. Now how do I mean? I want to click on my grid again. I'm going to click on this add plus, this first one here. I'm going to click on it. Now what just happened is that an additional vertical line has been added. All right, a vertical line has been added, so I'm going to draw that vertical line that has been added. I'm going to draw it here and put it here. Now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to align vertically all the full stops. All right, so that I don't have one misaligned. All right, and I would encourage you to do that, because you need to keep your work professional. All right, you need to do your work like you are a professional designer. You don't need to just do things and just put things that way. Let your works be aligned, let it be detailed. All right, so that's the reason why you're making use of that line. So everything you are creating, the full stops, they would have to be aligned with that line. Yeah, so you just keep on, you just copy and continue doing that. Yeah, just okay. Now if you notice, there's a mistake here which I'm going to correct right now. Yeah, there's a mistake, and I'm going to correct that right now. And the mistake is that the text perfect details on brows slash shadows slash leaves is one text. All right, or is one sentence. All right, so but if you noticed, I put a full stop there, so I'll have to remove that full stop, because that shadow slash leaves is not a fresh sentence or a fresh text. All right, so I'm just going to bring this down here. All right, so please take note of that when you are doing yours, so that you don't give the viewers impression that okay, yeah, no, that's not it. I'm trying to correct. All right, yeah, I'm just going to move this upwards a little like this. Yes, so I'm just going to copy the last one, and I'm going to bring it down here this way. Okay, now yeah, I'm just going to bring it here this way. Okay, all right, awesome. So let's look at our original image. I'm going to make this visible, and I'm just going to make this invisible. All right, awesome. So after doing this, now I just want to remove I want to just bring this, I just want to take it out. Okay, so I'm just going to drop it somewhere here. I don't need it again. All right, so I'm just going to unclick this place. Now the next thing I want to do, what I want to do next is I want to create these shapes where I added the texture. Don't worry, we're still going to create the shape for the outline. All right, okay, let's do it now. So just for this outline, what you are going to do is the same process. All right, I'm just going to copy this same shape that we have here. All right, and I'm going to increase the opacity. Remember, we reduced the opacity, so I'm going to increase the opacity, and I'm going to click on edit. Yes, and I'm going to reduce this way. Now as you are reducing, the radius is being affected. All right, so I'm going to go to the radius, and I'm going to reduce the radius to about 9. I'm going to reduce again from this side. All right, something like this. All right, I'm just going to reduce this way, and I'm going to increase the radius again to let me see, about 13. Okay, yes, so I love 13, so I'm going to, yeah, okay, let me reduce this size again. I don't want it to be too big and I don't want it to be too small, so let me work on the radius again, about 11. Yeah, so I'm just going to place it here this way. Okay, so let me look at my original. I'm just going to bring my original to the top so that I can see what I'm doing now. There's something here. If you notice, you are going to see that the shape is closer to the master class, and that is something I don't want. All right, your shape is not meant to be close to your text. All right, so we're going to correct that, but for now let's leave it here. All right, I want us to first bring in these 3 images. All right, I want us to bring in these 3 images. There's a reason why. So I'm just going to copy this same shape again. I'm going to copy this same shape we made. We reduced the opacity, so I'm going to increase the opacity of this shape. All right, and I'm just going to reduce the size. Okay, I'm going to reduce the size. I'm going to click on my edit so that I can do that effectively. Okay, so I'm just going to reduce the size this way. Let me mark this and let me make this visible so that I can see the size I made use of in the original design. All right, so I'm just going to increase this a little, yeah, and I'm just going to make this invisible. Now the next thing I want to do is okay, let me just make a correction here. Yeah, okay, I'm trying to make everything fall in one line. All right, okay, we're going to get to that. So the next thing I want to do is I'm going to bring in the textures. All right, the images. So let me bring in the first image. Yeah, let me bring in the first image. All right, so this is the image. So what I'm just going to do is I'm going to click on this icon here. I want to change the focus of the picture. All right, so I'm just going to mark this. Yes, so I have the first image, and I'm just going to click on stroke. I'm going to click enable stroke, and I'll just make my stroke 1. All right, click on stroke, white color, and your stroke should be 1. So I'm just going to click on copy. Now once you see immediately I click on copy, the image has changed. All right, so I'm just going to click on copy, and I'm going to click on texture. I want to change this image. This is the second image. I'm going to mark this. Now I'm going to click on copy again. All right, I'm going to click on copy again, and the next thing I want to do is to bring in the last image. All right, so this is the last image. All right, so I'm just going to mark this. Okay, so I'm just going to mark this. Remember I said I edited these images. These aren't the original, you know, the way they came. All right, or should I say the way I downloaded them. Okay, so now I want us to correct something. I observed something, so I want to align everything on this left hand side. All right, let it touch the line. You see, while we're drawing this shape, we didn't follow the margin. Okay, so and that's what I'm going to be correcting now. All right, so I'm just going to click on this first, and I'm going to move it here this way so that it can touch the margin. Yes, so that everything we are doing can be aligned to the line. Remember, that's the reason why we created the margin. Okay, so everything needs to be aligned. So that means I'll need to move the full stops a bit. Okay, I'll need to move the full stops a bit. I'm just moving it by 2. All right, but when you are doing yours, to avoid these extra works, just ensure that you follow the margin consistently. Yeah, so I'm just going to move this this way. Okay, yeah, so I'm just going to move this way. All right, so that means I'm going to move the text also. Yeah, I'm just going to move the text also. Okay, so I still need to move my margin one more push. All right, just need to give it one more, yeah, just one. Okay, because or my full stop rather, not my margin now, because my full stop it needs to give there needs to be space in between it and the writings. All right, so I'm just going to move my text. I'm going to reduce this positioning to about 3. Yeah, awesome. So we have this now. I'm just going to move my master class. My master class is not really aligning with the margin. Okay, so that's what I just want to achieve now. And my makeup also, I'm just going to move it a little bit so that it can align with my margin. All right, so let me click out. Awesome. So yeah, awesome. So the next thing I want to do, let me just move this text. I want it to be aligned with the margin here. So I'm just going to move this close to this, and I'm going to move this close to this also. Yeah, so let's see. Yes, so you can see we have that perfect there's a perfect flow on the left hand of this design. All right, so now the next thing you want to do is you want to check. Now you can see mine is already aligned, but if you want to do yours, these pictures we brought in, you need to ensure that the pictures are aligned. All right, and how do you do that? You click on this same grid. All right, click on addition now, but you are going to click this second addition, which is the horizontal. So I'm just going to click on this, and you move this line this way to see if it's aligned. All right, I'm going to click out, click in again. So you move it to see if it's aligned. If it's aligned, that means you are good to go. All right, but in my case, I just need to move this by 1. Yeah, so now it's aligned. So I'll click on this again and just check this top part. All right, so you can see it's aligned. So I'm just going to move this out. I don't need it again. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is let me check the original design and see. Now we're going to be working on the outline. Now if you notice, there's a gradient on the outline image, which is this image. All right, so I'm going to click color, I'm going to enable, I'm going to click gradient. Yeah, I'm going to click gradient. So pick the gradient of the background. All right, pick the gradient of the background for the outline. Okay, so we're going to be adding a light effect, this light effect that you are seeing on the outline, but it's not going to be in Pixellab application. All right, so the next thing I want to bring in is I'm going to bring in this icon for fee $20. All right, so I'm just going to import that from my gallery right now. All right, so this is the icon. I'm going to mark this. All right, I'm just going to reduce the size. Okay, I'm just going to reduce the size this way. Now if you notice, it's kind of small and it's too close to my shape. So what it means is that I will need to reduce these shapes. All right, I will need to reduce these shapes. Remember, nothing must go out of the box. Okay, so I'm just going to reduce this shape. Let me see, 22. Let me reduce this to 22, and let me reduce this to 22. Okay, we should have more space now. Now after reducing it to 22, now what I want to do is I want to move these shapes downward. Now if you notice, these shapes, they are too close to the shape we drew for. All right, let me show you what I'm talking about. Now if you notice, these images, these 3 images we brought in, they are too close to this this line that we wrote these, these outlines. They are too close, so we need to bring these images down so that we can give it spacing. So that's what I want to do now. So I'm just going to click on the first image and I'm going to move down. All right, that's not it. Let me click on, okay, all right, let me make this invisible. So I'm just going to click on the first image and I'm going to move down. Yeah, I'm going to move down this way. All right, we just need to give spacing. Let there be space in your work while you are designing. All right, you need to let your design have that breathing space. All right, you need to choke your design with a lot of things such that people can't read effectively. All right, so your design should be easy to read and easy to view. Okay, so I'm just going to move this downwards here. So after doing that, now the next thing we want to do is I'm just going to close up this spacing. All right, so that our icon for fee can stay in. So I'm going to close up these spaces, but not totally close them up. All right, so I'm going to move this also. Yeah, I'm going to move this way, and yeah, so okay, let me just move one. Okay, yeah, so I have this now. So after doing this, I'm just going to take this out. I don't need it now again. So I'm going to bring in this shape so I can increase the size now. Yeah, so it can stay now. All right, so it can stay here now. Now let me make the original visible and see my area of positioning. Okay, So that's what I want to do now. I'm just going to bring this way. All right, now I don't want it to be too close to this image. Okay, so if you see that it's getting too close to the image, you can either reduce the images again, or you reduce the size of the shape. Now notice something, guys. I used to see flyers online, all right, probably makeup flyers like this, and then you see people putting in pictures of about 5, 6, 7. They just want pictures to fill the workspace. Now when creating your design, all right, and you're talking about maybe makeup and stuffs like that, it's not about the quantity of pictures you put on the design. That's not what will attract clients to your business. All right, maybe you want to advertise your makeup design now. If for those that have watched my tutorial on how to create a restaurant flyer, all right, you are going to see in that design how that I made use of just 4 images of food. All right, so it means that it's not the quantity of the images. As a matter of fact, when you use so much images on your design, all right, it distracts the viewers. Instead of calling their attention, instead of bringing their awareness to your business. It distracts them. All right, so when you are creating your design, you can see that I'm just making use of 3 images, and these images are not big. All right, the reason why you need to do this is because you want your design to be easy to read, and once your design is easy to read, your viewers will be willing to read the design. When I see a design, and this is actually the same for eventually probably most people, all right, when I see a design and design is too choked up, I get tired already. I'm already bored. I don't want to read that design. I don't want to view the design. I don't want to know the details of the design, because the design is too bulky and it's too boring. All right, so you don't need to choke your designs with images. Say I want people to know that this is no. Let your image, all right, the images you want to use, let it not be more than 3 or 4 at most. All right, when it's going into 5, 6, you are already distracting the designers. And you can actually make use of 5 images if you are good and professional, if you know how to position your images. All right, but to be on the safer side, make use of 4 images at most. All right, that being said, I'm just going to lock this layer. I'm going to lock all these layers so that they don't move around. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to lock all these layers. So the next thing I want to do is I'm just going to write in the fee, which is $20. Okay, so remember, this is a fictional design, so the details here are fictional. All right, so I'm just going to put in fee, and I'm just going to drop this size this way. Okay, so I'm just going to bring it here. I'm just going to bring the size this way. Okay, now another thing you should be conscious of is colors. Now if you noticed, my gradient is having like wine color, and yeah, it's having mostly wine color. I think this is a wine color now. All right, now if you notice, the best color to use for my text is white. I can't start using blue on this background. It's not going to reflect my color. It's not going to amplify the color of my text. But now you see, once I use white color, this background automatically amplifies the color of my text because I'm making use of the right color. Now the same thing when I write this fee, all right, this fee, and I placed it on this gold icon. Now you don't want to leave your color on white. You can see that it's not visible. It's almost not visible. You want to make your text in such a way that your viewers will be able to view. All right, so I'm just going to click on color, and I'm going to change the color to black. Now you don't want to change it to red. You can change it to red, but red wouldn't actually be too good on the for this color. All right, you don't want to change it to something like this. You don't want to change it to something like this. All right, so you need to choose black color, because black color will make it stand out. So I'm just going to reduce the size after choosing this black color, and I'm just going to, you don't just position it anyhow. Make sure it's centralized on the icon. Make sure it is in the center of the icon. All right, so I'm just going to copy this again, and I'm going to write the $20. Okay, so I'm just going to write 20, and I'm going to bring in the dollar icon now. Okay, so I'm just going to click OK. So I'm going to bring this down. Okay, I'm just going to bring it here this way. All right, I'm just going to bring it here. So now for this, all right, I'm just going to change the font. The fee, I made use of Montserrat regular, but for the $20, I'm going to make use of Montserrat bold, or you can use Montserrat extra bold, All right, now the reason why you are doing this is because you want to create hierarchy. I always say it in my design that maintain hierarchy. What does hierarchy means? Hierarchy means that when I open this flyer, the first thing that will call my attention, okay, we are not done with this flyer, but let's make use of the original to explain hierarchy a bit. All right, these are principles that you need to pay attention to if you are going to be a professional designer. Now let's talk about hierarchy. When I open this design, the first thing that will call my attention on this design is this major image. All right, this image of this lady putting a brush, on her eyes. All right, that's the first thing that should call my attention. All right, now the second thing that will call my attention is the makeup masterclass, because the masterclass now, even though the text is small, is going along with the makeup. All right, that's what will call my attention next. Now the next thing that should call my attention is these three images. All right, these three sub images. All right, these images here. Now the next thing that should call my attention is this outline, and then these basics of makeover, stuffs like that. And then the last thing that should call my attention is this fee, $20. Now, you don't want to make everything, every of your text the same size, the same size, the same size. There will be no hierarchy. All right, there needs to be hierarchy in your design. And that which is the most important part of the design should be the one that will be on the eye, the eye points in the hierarchy. So when you see that this lady is more visible than any other thing in this design, is because I want people to know that, okay, this lady is holding, a brush for makeup and stuff like that. So that's how you work with hierarchy. Okay, so that being said, all right, so now we have been able to achieve this. Now the next thing we want to achieve is want to write this to apply contact. Now, but before you do that, you are going to add a rectangle shape, all right, at the bottom of your design. All right, so I'm just going to click on shapes, click on shape, and I'm going to click on this rectangle shape. I'm going to increase the size this way, I'm going to reduce it this way. All right, I'm going to reduce it this way, and I'm just going to bring it to the bottom here, and I'm going to mark this. All right, so I'm going to bring it, let me move it up a little again, but it shouldn't be close to your images. All right, so it shouldn't be close to your images. Okay, so now what I want us to do is that I want us to move these images up a little, these three images. All right, let's move it up a little. I'm going to move it by 2. Okay, I'm going to move this also by 2, and I'm going to move this also by 2. Now the reason why I'm doing this is because I'm also going to move this icon for the fee. Okay, and I'm also going to move up the fee, and I'm going to move up the price. Yeah, I'm going to move up the fee also. Now the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to move this rectangle shape we drew. I want to move it up. I want to apply, I want it to find full expression on this design. All right, now let me just state something. The to apply, which is the last thing we're going to be adding at the bottom of this design, can actually cut, it can actually go, it shouldn't go too much to the bottom part of this design, but they can actually be here, something like this. All right, you just have to let it be in the middle of this rectangle that you've drawn. All right, so now I want to click on text. Okay, I'm just going to copy this text for basics. I'm just going to copy this text, and I'm going to click on to apply. I've copied the text, so I'm just going to click the text that I've copied. All right, so I've clicked on to apply, so I'm just going to bring this way. Now to apply, you can see the color is not showing, so I'm going to change the color to black. Now once you have changed it to black, now let's look at our original and see. Yeah, to apply, I'm just going to bolden the to apply alone. All right, so I'm going to click on, okay, let's just use the bold style. Click on style, highlight to apply alone. All right, just highlight to apply alone, and then click on letter B. It's going to bolden it. All right, so once you do that, make sure it's centralized. Click on center and bring it down a little. All right, let it almost be in between the rectangle shape. So this is what you have. Now after you have achieved this, we are done with all the text part of the design, all the text part. Now what we want to do is we want to bring in the image. All right, this image. Now the reason why I didn't bring the image in is because the image is having a background. All right, I'm not going to be showing you guys how to do that. I've spoken about that in my other tutorials. So you are going to remove the background of the image using photo room. But what I want to show you guys now, if you noticed on this image, you are going to see that I blended the image to the background, which is this major image of this lady holding a brush on towards the eye part, eye, sorry. So what I want to show you guys is how to blend this image to the background. That's what I'm just want to show you guys. I don't want to do it here in Pixellab because Pixellab, as we have explored, might not necessarily give us something accurate. All right, so that's the reason why I want us to go to PixArt to do that. All right, guys, so before we go, notice that this first image that I highlighted, all right, if you notice, you are going to see that the image of the lady is upside down. Now this is because I went out of Pixellab, I exited the application, and I came in again. So that's the reason why. Now sometimes this usually happens for some images, not all the time, not for all images. It happens just once, it happens just sometimes. Okay, so if this happens, what you just need to do is to go back to your texture and re-choose the image again. All right, re-choose the image, but I'm not going to be doing it now because I want to exit the Pixellab application again. So if I do it now, it's still going to it's still going to change. So I'm going to be doing it once I have been able to edit the picture, our major picture, and I've imported it. All right, so we're going to be checking that out later. Okay, so now let's go to PixArt so that we can work on our image. All right, guys, so this is the image I used. Now I'm going to be giving you this image with background because I want you all to do the background removing yourself. I want you all to remove the background yourself. Okay, so I'm going to be giving this image with background, and now this image this isn't the way it's going to be. All right, the image, this is not the way it is. Now I was the one that swiped it this way, or I was the one that cropped it this way. Okay, now the reason why I did that is because if I import the image the way it is originally in Photoroom, now when Photoroom is done with editing the image, when it's time for me to save, this Photoroom logo will be on a body. All right, it's going to be on this lady's body. All right, and that is going to affect our design because apparently you can see that the size of our body is not too long, so we can't afford to lose more parts. All right, so that's the reason why I cropped this image and I changed the rotation. All right, so that when I edit in Photoroom and I want to save, the Photoroom logo is going to appear on this empty space here. You can see the way we have this Photoroom logo. So when you get the picture, please go to Pixellab. All right, once you go to Pixellab, insert the image alone. Once you insert the image alone, then you rotate the image the way I do. All right, using your crop to rotate the image, or using your rotate your rotate tool. Okay, so when you rotate the image, save it as image. All right, save to your gallery, and then you impute this your rotated image in Photoroom to remove the background. All right, so if you just impute the image the same way you'll be receiving it in the resource file, if you impute it that way, you won't get this result I'm getting now. The Photoroom logo will be on a body. All right, so that's the trick behind this. So what I'm just going to do now, we want to rotate it back to normal. We want to take it back to normal. Okay, so I'm going to click on tools. This is my PICSART application, so I'm going to click on tools and I'm going to look for rotate. I'm going to click on rotate. Okay, I'm going to click rotate and I'm going to click, I want to flip to vertical now. So once you flip to vertical, all right, it's going to come back to the weight it ought to be. So I'm going to mark this. Now you can see I'm going to click on okay, let's leave it. I wanted to erase this Photoroom, but just let's leave it. Now what we want to do is we want to create that blend feel on this image so that when we import it in Pixellab, it's going to look like the image is blended to the background. So what you are going to do is you will look for cutout. Now cutout works with data, so you need to put on your data. I'm going to click on cutout. Now you can see you don't have internet connection, so I will need to turn on my internet connection. All right, so now you can see the cutout now is working. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on brush. Now what I'm going to do is, after clicking on brush, I'm going to reduce the hardness. First, let your hardness be strong a little bit here. All right, when you just brush through this top part. All right, so just brush through this top part first, brush through this way. But when you get to this place, you stop. Then when you stop, all right, you go to your hardness, you reduce your hardness. All right, because now I want to start the blending process. So I'm going to reduce my hardness to about 49 and I'm going to increase my size to about 57. Let's see. Now there you might do a lot of trial and error here but you just have to do it till you get it right. All right, so I'm just going to blend this way. Now if you look at my design, you're going to see that my brush is not close to the down part of this design. The reason is because if I let this brush touch the down part of this design, then it's not going to give us that feel we're looking for again. Remember, what we're looking for is we want it to blend to the background. So you will experience a lot of trial and errors here if you are not careful. Okay, so after doing that, I'm going to click on this eye icon here. I want to see what we have done. Okay, I'm going to click on this eye icon. Now you can see this. If I import this background, if I import this image this way in my Pixellab, it's still going to have a sharp edge. All right, so what I want to do is let me click on erase and see. Let me increase the okay, let me click on erase, let me reduce the size and see if I can achieve something here. Okay, and let me just click on the back. Let me click on erase and let me just erase this way. It's too sharp. I'll go back again. Let me see. All right, I'm trying to see if I can be able to blend. Okay, so okay, let's see this. Erase is on 2019. Okay, let me mark this and download. All right, once I download, I'm going to check it out in Pixellab and see if we got it right. If we did not, we'll have to come back to PICSART and do it again. All right, but for the sake of this tutorial, I'm not going to do that. Okay, so once you are doing yours, ensure that you get it right. Okay, all right, so this is the image. I'm going to mark this. Good. We got it right, but not fully right. Yes. So not fully right. If you look at the bottom of this image, you are still going to see a little sharp edge, like a straight line. Okay, so when you are doing yours, please ensure that it's well blended. All right, so that's what you just need to ensure. Okay, but for the sake of this tutorial, I won't be doing that, so I'm just going to increase the size this way, but I believe you get the concept. You can see that there's this blend feel there. All right, so I'm going to increase our image this way. I'm just going to reduce this again, and I'm just going to try and fit it in. Okay, I'm trying to fit it in. I'm going to reduce again. Let me increase a bit. Okay, so let me just bring it here. Okay, so let me make this invisible, and I'm going to take this to back. I'm going to take it behind these images. All right, I'm going to take it behind these images. Yeah, I'm going to take it behind like this. Yeah, so let me lock this layer and see what we have. Yeah, you can see what we have. So you can see that it's almost like the original, about 99% like the original. Okay, so I've been able to achieve this. Now the last thing I want to do in this application, which is Pixellab. Okay, so I was speaking about this image that has changed. So I'm going to go to texture and choose it again. I'm going to delete this and I'm going to pick it again. I'm just going to rotate this way and I'm going to mark it this way. All right, so now I've gone to pick the image again. So the last thing I want to do is I want to write the outline. Okay, so once we are able to achieve that, we're just going to do the final touching on this design. So I'm going to click edit and I'm just going to write outline. It's still Montserrat font you use for outline. Okay, so don't change the font. Montserrat. Let me increase the size of this outline a little. Okay, now I'm going to reduce the shape for this outline because it's too close to the makeup masterclass. Okay, so I'm going to reduce the relative size. I'm going to reduce it this way, and I'm just going to move it down a bit like this. Yeah, I'm going to move it here like this so that they can stay in the middle of the shape. Okay, yeah, so we have this. Awesome, so we have this. That's nice. Okay, so the next thing we want to do, yeah, we are done in Pixellab application. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save these changes. You remember we saved before while we started, so I'm going to save changes. All right, and I'm going to save as image. Okay, so once I save as image, save as ultra, save as JPEG, save to gallery. All right, so once I'm done saving, the next thing we want to add is this light effect. In our original design, there are some light effects. If you look at this top, if you look at this side, I added like 3 light effects. So that's what we want to achieve in the PICSART application. So let's get into PICSART now. All right, so I'm just going to go back and I'm going to click on don't save. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to click on the image. All right, So I'm going to click on the image, and what I want to do now is I'm going to click on add photo. Okay, so this is the first light effect we'll be adding. All right, I'm going to drop it in as part of the resource materials. So I'm going to go to blend, click on blend, click on screen. All right, then go to opacity and reduce the opacity of this like this. Okay, then I'm going to rotate. You can decide whichever way you want it. All right, it's always your choice to decide what you want. Okay, so I'm just going to rotate it this way. I'm going to rotate it this way. I'm going to reduce the opacity again. Yeah, let me see the blend. Okay, so let's leave the blend as lighting. All right, not screen. I'm going to use lighting. So now if you look at it, you're going to see that there are sharp edges. All right, there are sharp edges. So I'm just going to click here. I'm going to bring it here, click on my eraser tool. I'm going to zoom out so that I can see what I'm doing. Reduce your hardness, and then just brush, around those sharp edges of the design. All right, so that it can stay. So once I do that, I'll mark this and I'll bring it here again. Okay, so you can let yours stay here if you like, anyway you want it to be. So I'm going to bring in the second. Okay, I'm just going to bring it here. All right, let it stay here, somewhere here. Yeah, somewhere here. So I'm going to bring in the light effect for the outline. Okay, all right, so this is the light effect I use for the outline and also for the top part of this design. So I'm just going to go to blend, click on blend, and click on screen. All right, so once you click on screen, increase the size a little and just place it at the middle of your design this way. Trying to get the middle. Yeah, so just place it here this way. So you have the first light effect here, but always remember there will be a sharp edge on this light effect. So click on your erase tool, increase your size, reduce your hardness, brush the bottom part, brush the sides where it looks sharp. All right, and just mark this. So what I'm going to do again, I'm going to click here at the top and duplicate this. All right, so we're going to bring it here for the outline. All right, so this is the lens flare for the outline. Now if you notice, the lens flare for the outline is also having a sharp edge. So I'm going to click on eraser tool. I'm going to reduce my hardness. I'm going to just brush this way. All right, I don't want that sharp feel. All right, I'm just going to brush this way like this, and once you do that, you are okay. Yeah, you are good to go. Yes, so now you can see we have the lens flare in the right positions. Okay, so once you are done, you mark this. Now once you mark this, you click on this drop down download button, and then you have your design ready. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. This is how to create a beautiful and amazing business flyers like this. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please, if you haven't subscribed, do well to subscribe, do well to like this video, and please share this video to other creative designers, all right, other creatives out there, so that they can learn from this video. All right, and don't forget, anticipate, I'll be dropping my course soon, all right, in my next tutorial on how to edit your images. I make use of 3 applications, all right, 3 powerful applications to edit my images, and to also sharpen my designs, and to add other extra feels in my designs. 3 powerful smartphone applications. So anticipate this course. It will be coming for a discount price. All right, see you in my next tutorial.